Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. This is the third class on the topic of functions. So uh, this is, I think, I'm going to do this because I hope so. You can do all parts except the last one. Some issues may be there, but anyway, you try this question except the last sign part. So try this whole question, and then inshallah I will do this question myself. So take your time, please, and solve it. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Yes, student, I think you took a reasonable time and you try this question. So now I'm going to do this question myself. So compare your answer with my answers. I part. So he said completing square form. So let's see how we can do completing square form. So completing square form is not hard at all. We have done already. So 2x to power 2 plus 8x minus 10. You know it very well. What is our target? Always x square coefficient must be plus 1. Or we can do it. So only one choice. Take 2 common out from first 2 terms. You can take third even, no problem, but better to take first 2 terms. So 2 ones are 2 and 2 fours are 8. I think okay. After that, what is the next planning? So what is a half of the x coefficient? 4. I mean to say, make it half of 4. I got 2 and take square of this number. So this square add and subtract. And now I'm going to complete it. And all of you know this is a power 2. This x will come here, this 2 will come here, and this plus sign will come from here. So I'm writing x plus 2, and this minus 2 square means minus 4 is coming here. And 2 multiply with this bracket outside. 2 multiply with this 4. So I get 2x plus 2 whole square, and 2 fours are 8 and minus 10. And final form, I'm writing it here. So I believe up till here, all of you understanding well. So Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. So now let's go for the next part. So first part is done. And he said that state the least value of y and corresponding x value. And we discussed in the last 2 lectures in detail whenever, and you know it, what is x square, positive or negative? Positive. And you know it very well, when we have x square positive, we have a point of minima. And when x square negative, we have a point of maxima. Now, because x square is a positive, it's a point of minima. So if someone asks me how to find coordinates of this, we have done many times. So this under power 2, whatever, put equals to 0. When I put equal to 0, x become minus 2. And I said you put replaces minus 2 in this equation. I mean, replace here or replace there. And replace here, why waste time? The number out of bracket, including sign, is called y coordinate. How come? When I replace this minus 2 here, minus 2 plus 2, 0, 0 into 2, 0, and minus 18 is answer. So ultimately, my answer is negative 2 and negative 18. I believe up till here, you're not getting any issue. Okay. So, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. So up till here, point is very, very clear. So what he was asking first part. So this 3 marks for completing square is okay. And this 2 marks for x and y is confirmed. Now next 3 marks. This I think I did not explain, but because this is a chapter of quadratics. This part is a chapter of quadratics. But I will do again here now, because in many previous questions, we found this kind of question. So y is bigger than x and find set of values of x. So y is bigger than 14. I'm finding it here. Part number 2, y bigger than equal to 14. So let's see how we can find it. I can do 2 techniques. Either put a completing square there, one option, or I have another choice. And what is other choice we have? I can put the whole function even there. So let's see how we can do the other one. Okay. So I use the top equation. Top equation means 2x to power 2 plus 8x minus 10. You know what I've done, students? This x value, this function value, I kept in the place because it's a y value. I repeat my words. This is actually, you can see here, this y. See, this whole thing equal to y. So this is the same y. So I replace here. So I believe up till now you're understanding. Bring 14 in this end. When bring 14 this end, we got 2x square plus 8x minus 24. Divide by 2, I get x to power 2 plus 4x and minus 12. Factorization 12 ones are 12. You can apply quadratic formula or factorization. I think factorization easy. 6 to the 12. 6 and minus 2. So this is actually topic of quadratics which I'm doing. Negative 2 common, I got x plus 6. And you know it very well, we done in chapter of quadratic this. And after this, we remember, we draw this kind of curve roughly, and then put x-axis and put this equal to 0. When I plug in this equal to 0, students, what happened? X plus 6 is equal to 0. I get x is equal to minus 6. And when I plug in this equal to 0, I mean x minus 2 equals 0, I got x is equal to 2. So smaller value, negative 6, come here, and bigger value for positive comes here. After this, if you recall, we done it that whenever it is a bigger like face or open, this is open. So bigger means we always go outside, if you recall. Okay, I taught like this. If it's lesser, for example, lesser, I make arrow inside, if you remember that point. So Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, clear. Now how to read this one? This is called x is less than equals to minus 6. And how to read this one? The right side is called bigger. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. The point is very, very clear. So this part is done. And let's go for other part. Okay. I hope so. Up till here, the point's very clear. So part number third, I'm going to do now. I just help you. Um, uh, I can use this completing square format in the place of y also. But I think so both you got the idea clear. And let's go for next plan. Next part, what he's asking for is third part. Third part done. Sorry, fourth part. Let me check. 1, 2. Yeah, this was a part number 2. Wait a minute. Part number 2 was this value. Part number 2 was this. Part number 3 is this. So this is okay. And now I go for part number 4. Okay. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Part number 4 is very interesting. He kept the same name, but the function name he took as a f of x. Okay. And domain is x is bigger than k. And he mentioned that find the least value for the inverse, which is one-to-one function. And you know it very well, one-to-one function only, which has inverse possible. So how we can do it? Have a look here. So part number 4. So part number 4 is what, students? As I was discussing that we have to find our least value for which function is one-to-one. And you know it very well, if the function curves returns here, there's never one-to-one function. We have to stop the curve at turning point. Either you have a right curve, it is one-to-one function, and or the left side. But before turning point, after turning point. So he was asking that what is the least value of k? And I show you the coordinate situation. What is the turning point? -2 and 80, -2, -18. So have a look here. This number is -2 and negative. So x is -2. Here -1. Here 0. Sorry, -1, -1, -2, -3, -4. Here -1. Here 0. So if I ask you least value, so naturally least value come from the right side, from right side. Like if you're coming from right side, come back and stop here, because curve is coming, curve is coming, and we have to stop curve at this point. So this is called least value. So if he asks you least value of k, because this x is this number is actually -2. So how to write answer? X is bigger than equal to -2. So I believe the point is clear. Least value of k for which it is one-to-one function. I hope so. Point is very clear. If he asks you not least, if he asks you largest, then what is the way we have to write it? We have write so largest is from this left hand, because this is we going with this way, and this is the largest number. Again, answer is same. So short story, if he asks you least value or largest value, both option k value answer is a turning point x coordinate. So it means that I can say here least value of k, because he was saying x is bigger than equal to k. So k value is very, very clear. Turning point x coordinate. And what is turning point x coordinate? This is a -2. So every time we whenever, okay, and this is the only, so that function is one-to-one. And extra thing, I just want to tell one thing. Whenever it is a one-to-one function, it has inverse. Sometimes he asks you that what least value of k for which it inverse exists. So I hope so. The point is very, very clear. And after this, I'm going to do for the part number 5. So part number 5, I'm going to start now. So let's go for part number 5. And part 5 is what is asking express f dash f inverse of x in terms of case. Okay. So I will add one extra part here. What is that? Extra part I'm adding here, or I do that next class, no problem at all. Or I can even ask even, no problem at all. Okay. What is that? Find f inverse domain and range. This extra part from my end to have a good idea about this topic. So first of all, I find f inverse. So f inverse, how to find f inverse, students? So you know it very well. Completing square is very, very important. So, okay, my first question, can I find inverse of this level? No, I can't find inverse from here. Logic, because there are two x's and they have different powers. But I will find inverse of this. Logic, because I have one x, I have only one x and with one power. If I have a more than one x comes, we can't find inverse of that. And second number, they have different powers. But if I have this question, I can find inverse. So let's start this one, use this one. So, so I'm starting now, all of you get ready. So question is 2x plus 2 whole square minus 18. Let me recheck. Is it correct? Yeah. And this is a function, what in the function name? F of x. So function of f. So I'm writing this one. So 2 outside. Yeah, this is a function of f. And all of you familiar students, step by step, we're done in O level. Step number 1, remove function name, write y. Done. Step number 2, try to make an x subject. But how to make it? So this 18 will first subtract there. Done. Step number next is what? This 2 multiplying with the whole bracket will divide on this end. Over. Now after this, what is my plan number next? Is we have to side change. When I do a side change, so nothing will change, will happen. Done. Now how to remove the power to root of the both sides? When I take the root of both sides, I will get this form. Plus and minus y plus 18 over 2. Done. Now what is next level? Next, bring this 2 on the other side. -2 plus and minus, and y plus 18 divided by 2 over. Now interchange. Interchanging means what? X become y and y become x. Done. And this is a y replaced by the inverse of function over. So Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, we have done this already in the previous lecture. But one thing I will teach today is new, is what? That we can't have a two signs here. You ask why we can't two signs here? Because look at here, function is one-to-one function, and one-to-one function means we are starting from this number and right side curve. So I have right side curve. It means I have this curve. So if I have this curve, so naturally two signs will not come. Two signs means one for plus, one for negative. So we will decide here, we have to plug in which signs. Is a very important concept, which I'm going to discuss. Okay. But before discuss this point, okay, let's start first this discussion. So let's start. So now this is a key point of today lecture. So you have to concentrate fully here. Okay. This is a new part I'm going to discuss here as compared to last lecture. So all of you get ready. According situation, I show you graph. Graph is what here? Actually, turning point is, students, you know it very well, is -2 and 18. So -2 and -18. So I'm just showing you -2 and -18. Sorry for that. It will go a little bit down. Okay, here -1, here -2, and -1, 0. There's 1, there's 2 onwards, and -18. So 5, 10, 15, 20. So -18 somewhere here. So my point is this here. Wait a minute. I show you the curve. And curve is going and going and going and going and going and this way. So I believe you got a point. Actually, domain was what? Domain was, this is called domain. Domain was x is bigger than equals to -2. Look at it. I'll show you. Look at it. If I plug in this -2 here, so what this domain becomes? Domain become x is bigger than equal to -2. So this domain, okay, is very, very clear approach. It means that I'm sketching the graph. Actually, there's a full curve like that. Hmm? But I am not plotting the left side. No, left side, I'm skipping it. And what is the range, my student? Range is starting from -18 and going upwards. So let me write it here. So range is what, students? So y is bigger than equals to -18. I believe all of you understanding. So this is a domain of function, and this is called range of function. So what is the range? Range is here, range of function. So one job is very clear, that you know very well. If I'm doing the fifth part before, fifth and sixth part, range and domain of the f inverse. So how we can do that one? Or we can do that later, no problem at all. Come back. So now I'm going to do make it. This is a for function. This is a graph for f of x. Now for your knowledge, I'm going to make a similar graph here for the other one. For other means inverse. Have a look very carefully, very carefully. -1, -2, and y 10, 15, 20. This -18 somewhere here. Okay. And I'm again drawing is here 1, here 2. Okay. This is x-axis, students. This is a y-axis, you know it. Now, for your sake of your knowledge, I tell you one thing. This is called f inverse of x. And you know x inverse is what we do always, interchange. Interchange, what interchange means? X become y and y become x. You know it very well. So this x-axis will become y-axis. And this y-axis become x-axis. I'm writing again here. So this become x-axis. Okay, very interesting. I'm going to draw the graph. Graph is -2 to -18, and graph is going this way. Okay, so wait a minute. I make it again. Okay, this graph is very clear, but make sure this graph of f inverse graph. This graph is f of x graph, and this graph of f inverse graph. Okay, my question: what is domain now? Domain is now is different. Domain is this -18 to going up. This is called domain. So what is domain, student? Domain is what? Domain of f inverse. So you say, sir, first it was range, y is bigger than 18, but what is domain now? X is bigger than equal to -18. And what is the range? What is the domain first? This one, it will become range now. And what is the range? Range starting from here and going right side. So I'm writing it here. So it is what? Y is bigger than equals to -2. So this is called range, range of f inverse. Now, interesting part is what now? You will concentrate, will decide that is this sign positive or negative? It depends upon one special thing. What is special thing? You will see that just concentrate. This is the last important thing of this chapter. Okay, you can say that. Okay, look at it. Now we'll decide is a plus sign or minus sign is dependency on especially one thing, and that I'm going to discuss now. Get ready. So my question: forget the function of f. Concentrate on f inverse graph. So look at here. If my x value is going from here going up, my question: y value going right side or y value going left side? Y going right side? And right side always, if you talk about this one, let's say y-axis here, suppose. So this is called increasing, and this is called decreasing. How come? Because if you go right side, so y value is going to bigger here. So it means this value, y value will become plus, like for example, what is minus 1 here? Minus 2 there, minus 1 here, 0, here 1, here 2. So it means y value is increasing. So that is due to increasing sign, I will erase it and I will write, you know what sign here? Look, I'm showing you. I will put here plus only. I repeat my words again. I will put a plus sign only. Okay, and I will do a one question reverse even, don't worry. And this is my final answer. Now, I think maybe some student not understanding why I put plus sign. So just sake of understanding, let's say graph is not right side because you know it very well. The graph is going right side. Why? Because he said that X value is bigger than minus 2. Let's talk about, let's say that it is a not bigger than 2, it is a less than 2. Okay. For example, less than 2 means what? This is negative 2. Less means graph is this way. If graphs go this way, so naturally my question, look at it, for example, graph is not right side, graph is coming left side. So my question from you that if I have this graph, so I have even this graph even, so y value, this is for inverse function. So y value, this y, it will become more decrease like minus 4, minus 5. So this is called minus sign. So it means you learn a lesson from here, and it means it will, this value will become lesser and lesser. Then I will must put here minus sign. So short story, I repeat again, short story. Short story is what? Look at here. I give you summary of this question because some student may be not understanding how I put plus and minus sign. If I have a curve is turning, if I have my x value is this, x is bigger than equal to minus 2, one option, okay? Then I will put a, because graph is this way. So, and you know y value is increasing this way. So I will put plus. If I have a graph go this way, then I'll put minus. Where put plus and minus? I talk about this sign when finding inverse. Okay, but sometimes graph is opposite. What is graph opposite? This way. Okay, even this, okay, you check it that if I, it means short story, if I go this way, so what is going on? For example, just let me check 1 minute, please. X is, yeah, X is, if this is called X axis then in inverse condition. If X go less than Y, go this way. So it means story is simple, a simple one here. So whenever we have a graph, so I think so simple, we can shortcut. When you go right side is plus, and when you go left side is a minus sign. I hope so you got a point very clear. It means if this is bigger than minus 2, my students, what happens? Bigger than minus 2, okay? It means I'm going right side, then I must put here plus sign. And if it's a less than minus 2 come like left side graph, okay, this kind of graph, then I must put here minus sign. So I hope so the concept is much clear. And this graph, no need to show examiner. I repeat my words. I know you can ask one question, sir, do we need to show this graph to examiner or not? No, what I have shown here, this graph of function and this graph of inverse function, there's no need to show to examiner, just sake of your knowledge. I hope so the point is very clear. And now I'm going for the last part of domain and range. So let me discuss, then I take your questions even. So what rules I taught you last class, last to last class? The rules I taught you two, if you remember, I'm writing both rules here. A domain of F inverse, is actually equals to range of function, range of f of x. Same approach, range of F inverse, equal to domain of function, domain of f of x. Repeat again. So I give an idea here. For example, this is I think last time I give an idea. Okay, that what is a way we have a domain of function. Sorry, first of all, find please what is the range of function? Function. I don't talk about inverse function. I do function. So what is the range? Range is this. So this range will will come here, and will become. So what is the domain become here? So domain of F inverse will become same value. I'll copy here, same value. But in the place of y, I will copy what? I will copy y, x here, because domain always for the x. And what about this story? This one. So what is a domain of fx? Domain is this one. So this domain will become range. So range of f inverse function is same, but I will write the same first of all here. X is bigger than equal to minus 2. but then I raise the x and write y here. All of you know why, because range is always y and x domain is always x. So I hope so this formula is very clear. We done even last class. So alhamdulillah rabbil alameen, point is clear. And now we'll go take some another question to try. Okay, so wait a minute. Yes, student, this is a challenge I'm giving to you, not a challenge, a question. I mean to say, you have tried this one. Okay, and now in this we have a find inverse even, and you have to check it. So you have to put a plus and minus sign, and domain and range of inverse we have also here. So really, is a very good question. Okay, and I think so. I think so. Yes, you can try this full question. Take your time, and then inshallah, I will do this question myself. Yes, student, I hope so. You've taken good time and you have finished. Let's start. Part number one. Part number one is completing square. So we can do, inshallah, in no time. Y is equals to 8x minus x to power 2. Reorder. Reorder means minus x square before, 8x later. And you know it very well according to criteria. I need x square coefficient plus 1. But there's not a plus 1, there's a minus 1. So I will take outside and it will become like this. After that, what is the next approach? I will copy x square minus 8x. Now half of 8 become 4. And this 4, I will take a square and add and subtract. Look, I'm showing you 4 square add and 4 square subtract. And then what happens then, students, after that? Negative 1 is outside, and these three terms will combine, and you know x minus 4 whole square minus 16. Open the bracket, this minus multiply here and with that, and ultimately I get this kind of form. And wait a minute, you write this form or you write this form. 16 before, 16 is before, and minus x minus 4 whole square. So completing square is completely over, and let's go for next part. And what the next part is said, numerically AB, you found it. Okay. Now, otherwise, find the coordinate of stationary point. So part number 2. How to find stationary point, students? Not a hard job. I said many times. So look at here. First of all, is an x square negative sign, negative sign. And I discussed many times when x square sign is positive, we got a point of minima. And if x square sign is negative, we get point of maxima. Because x square is negative sign, so point of maxima. And how to get a coordinate, students? Under power 2, put equal to 0. I will put equal to 0. So x is equals to 4. And how to get y value? The outside, the value is called y16. Even you put this 4 here. So 4 minus 4 is 0. And 16 minus 0 is 16. So alhamdulillah rabbil alameen, 4 comma 16 is stationary coordinate. So stationary point is coming 4 comma 16. So alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. So point is very, very clear. Okay, let's go for the next part. So this is done. Part 2. Part 3. This is part 3 is as I said before, this is like a chapter of quadratics. Okay, so y is bigger than equal to negative 20. So y is bigger than equals to minus 20. Okay, and I can do in two techniques, one short and one long. Long is what? This value you will plug in there. Where plug in? I show again. So this value replaced by this. Okay, one choice. Second choice we have, okay, rather than that, I can replace a completing square value also even here. But I think completing square, we get difficulty. So I will use the top one. So 8x minus x square. And secondly, I want to teach some important ideas. So bring 20 on this end. I get negative x square plus 8x plus 20 bigger than equal to 0. Interesting, very interesting part is coming here. Whenever x square negative, make it positive. How to make it positive? Multiply by minus 1. Or you can bring the whole equation right side, no problem at all. Multiply minus 1, x square positive, 8x negative, 20 negative. Inequality sign will change. Why inequality sign will change? Because the rule is very clear. Whenever you multiply whole equation, inequality sign will flip. So now after this, what is the next plan? I will factorize 21 the 20 and 10 to the 20. 10 to the 20. Okay, now after this, You take x common from here, and if I take x common from here, I get x minus 10, and 2 common from here, I got x minus 10. And I believe all of you understanding what is going on. Okay, and one time this equal to 0, when I keep this equal to 0, students, I get x is equal to 10. And when I keep this equal to 0, students, x plus 2 equal to 0, I get minus 2. And I draw this kind of curve, just sake of understanding this x-axis. Now, smaller number is negative 2, I write left side, and bigger number positive 10, I write right side. Always in number line, you know it very well. So let's say there's a number line. In number line is negative 2, there's a plus 10. And if I, what is this story we have? This is what is lesser. And I discussed before, whenever lesser come, read from this end, lesser. Lesser always stay inside. So inside, this is stay inside. So how to answer finally? X is less than 10 and bigger than equals to minus 2. So you can write separate also. I know some, this is a win, less than 10, bigger than minus 2. If you want to write this way, x is bigger than equal to minus 2 and x is less than equal to 10. So no problem at all. You write this way or you write this way or this way. So both are same way. So no issue at all. You can choose any one way. So now let's talk about the next part. I think up till here, you're not getting any big issue. So part number, this is done. So let's go for next part. So Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, this is done. So let's talk about the function name he changed. Same function he is keeping. He keeping same function. You see same. Sorry, this function same. But he wrote what here? Same function. He's given this one. For your knowledge, this is what is called domain of function. So I'm writing this function. So let's start. So part number 4. So g of x is equals to what? Students, 8 x minus x square. And for your knowledge, he mentioned us for what? What is domain given by him? Check it, please. X is bigger than equal to 4. Domain stand for x values. So x values start from 4 and go out. Okay. But before I start, what is a turning point? What is stationary point? You have 4. You know, in this kind of function topic questions, the stationary point is very, very important, both x and y, but especially domain is very important. Okay, he's saying he's saying that whenever we have x is bigger than 4, what happens then? So let's start, because turning point normally we have this. So turning point this, okay, turning point is 4 comma 4 comma 16 we have it. Okay, 4 comma 16. So what this mean actually, like if I make a line here, so domain is 4 here, there's a 4, there's a 5, there's a 6, there's 7, and there's a 4, and he said x is bigger than 4. So it means my graph is becoming this one, and this graph is going this way, this way, this way, this way. Why this way? Because my x value goes this way, my domain of this functions go this way. So why? So I think we can say clearly. So domain is very clear. All those I'm writing is just for understanding domain of the function. Of the function is what, student? I'm writing x is bigger than it. All this not asking, but I'm writing. This is for your just and your understanding. And range of functions very clear sense. It is coming downward, starting from where? Starting from 16. So, so y is less than equal to 16. Now he's asking what here? What a question he's asking. He's asking domain and range of G inverse. And you, I done with you one rule, 2 rules we have. I'm writing that rules here. Ready? So what are rules I taught you just this lecture, the previous lecture? If I'm looking for domain of F inverse, so this is equal to range of F. Same way, the range of F inverse equals to domain of F. Make sure here inverse, here function, here function. So let's start. You know it very well. You know, I hope so. Now you understood that why I wrote this thing separate. So now look at here. Range of function, I got it just now. Y is less than. So the same value I will copy here. So I'm writing it now, first of all. But as domain I talk about, so y replaced by x. So Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, I believe you got a point very clear. This is my answer. Now, what about this answer? The range of f inverse is equal to domain of function, and domain of function is here. So I'm copying as it is. But for your sake of knowledge, because we talk about range, so you should not write x, we should write y here. So remove the function, write y here. And I hope so all points are very, very clear. And now, just sake of knowledge, okay, this part is done. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Now talk about G inverse. So G inverse. So I'm starting G inverse from completing square. This is a completing square, student. I'll start always from here. Please, please never start from here. Why? Because they are two different x powers and they have different powers and they are two x's. We can't make subject x from here. But here we can make x subject because we have single x. So let's start. So first of all, what's function name? Let me check. Yeah, G function. G. So let's talk about G inverse. So G function is 16 minus x minus 4 whole power 2. Step number 1. You know, all of you know that function remove name, right? Y here. Okay, now try to make x subject, but x has a negative sign outside. So this whole thing will come here and y will go on the other end. Now, how to remove the power 2, take root of the both side. Now here, interesting part again, but coming plus and minus 16 minus y. I have done it. Now this 4 will go there and x is equal to 4 plus and minus 16 minus y. Now interchanging. So x become y and y become x. All of you familiar what is going on. Now this is called what is this called? G inverse. But wait a minute, student, one thing left only. What is that left? I have to decide that a plus come or minus come, where I talk about this sign. How to decide this point? So first of all, I make a graph for a function, just sake of understanding, and make sure the domain of the function is what bigger than 4. X is bigger than 4. Make it sure, make sure. Okay. And the graph is coming this way. So graph is coming 416. Graph is coming, wait a minute, I make it again. 416 is here. Here. Graph is coming this way. All of you familiar. So this is a 16 and this is a 4. So domain is current domain is this. This is called domain. And what is the range? Range is this. Okay, this is graph for function. Now I make it the same story. I make it, but for the inverse function. And you know it very well. What will happen? Have a look here. Same number 16, same number 4. Graph is same. But this time I write here x is less than 16, and I write here this. I write here. Here I'm writing what? Y is bigger than equal to 4. Look at here. What I've done. What I have done. 1 minute, please. Yes, student is a little bit raised. Anyway, come back. So this was story. Okay, and you know, this is a graph of function. I write here is a graph of function, and this graph of inverse function. So you know what happens in what is difference? This domain become range, and range become domain. Sorry, I have to raise it and write range here. This is a x. So this is x. This is x. Okay, I repeat again to you. This domain, this domain become range, and range of function become domain of inverse function, and this graph. So now if we look at carefully, my question, if x going this downwards, the y go rightwards or leftwards? And I discussed, if it go rightwards, I would must put a plus sign. If it's going, the graph is coming leftwards, then I will must put minus sign. I think you got my point clear what I'm saying. But current scenario we have, it is going right side, so I must put a plus sign. So I'm erasing this all signs. No need to erase all. You can write it last even. So I should put plus sign. I believe you got a point, and this is the final answer of it. And now I'm going to discuss the last part of chapter. Yes, student, the last part of topic which I'm going to discuss today is is this is a O-level kind of questions. Okay, for example, function is given by him and do functions given by him. We're done in O-levels function already in a grade 10 level. Okay, so for example, find x value for f g of x is equal to 3. So let's see how we can do this kind of idea. So let's start how we can do this question. Job number one is very clear. So right function put in left function. So I have to put, because right function, left function, so this will go in the place of f. So what is technique I will do here? So first of x, 3x plus 2, f of x is 3x plus 2, and g of function we have what? That is 6 over 2x plus 3, 6 over 2x plus 3. And he given us domains also, both luckily real number. So find x value and satisfy this condition. So first of all, according to situation f, g of x equal to 3 given by him. So part number I. So job number one, first of all, what do I will copy function of f, done. How many x values, empty spaces, both sides. And this function name copy here and its value copy here. So here I'm copying g of x and here its value. And I believe is nothing hard. Now this is f, g of x come left hand side. So 3, 6 are 18. Some student think it multiply up or and down as well. No, wrong. It has under nothing, so 1. So it will multiply up only. So I got 18 over 2x plus 3. And I replace this 3 and put it here. So I'm erasing this whole thing and keeping here 3. Now, how to deal x value? So naturally, some student in a hurry, they multiply directly. Impossible. Why? Because it's not a single fraction. Two fractions are there. Fraction number 1, fraction number 2. So when you have a two fractions, try to make single. How make single? This 2 will go and subtract. So when 3 minus 2, I got a 1. Now it's single fraction. I can do cross multiply. And when I do cross multiply here, so I got a 2x plus 3 equal to 18. And 2x is equal to 15. And x becomes 15 by 2, or x is equal to 7.5. So I hope so the point is very, very clear, and I have done part I. So let's talk about part number 2. Part number 2 is what? This is a new thing. This is not a O levels part. This is a O levels part, okay? And this is a new part I'm going to discuss now. Okay, sketch the graph for f and v and make clear relationship between the two graphs. This is a AS level part. This is not in O levels. Okay, so let's start. First of all, sketch in a single diagram graph of f and f inverse. So let's start. How we can do it? Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Okay, so first of all, I make a table. And ideal value is 0. I plug in 0 in the place of x. So have a look here. I plug in, if x, I plug in 0 here in the place of this 0. So it's gone. So answer become 2. Okay, I plug in any number. For example, I plug in 2. When I plug in 2, so 3 to the 6 plus 2, 8. So it means 2 and 8. So I think this is enough for it. Now you surprised, not surprised, it's because it's obvious. We know that in f inverse, what happens? In f inverse, what happens, students? F inverse. F inverse, I'm not going to find inverse, okay? But I just tell you one thing, for f inverse, what table become? So, you done it already. X become y and y become x. So this both values of x, I repeat my words, what I'm saying, both x values will become both y values. So 0, 2. And both y values will become both x values. Interchange. And this is a table. This is a table for fx, the table of f inverse of x. So no need to show to examiner full working. You can do like this even. Now I'm going to do that answer what is asking for. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. And I'm going to show you. Inshallah, I believe you will understand. Okay. So let's start. X is 2, y 0. X is 2, y 0. Where is x is 2, y 0? Because I have to cover up. So make sure highest value is 8. So both x's, you know what's basic rule? The rule is that the scale must be same for both. Scale must same for this kind of graph. I mean to say, sometimes students take here 1, here 2, or here 2, here 4 wrong. This should not be like that. What scale use along X, same scale along Y? I believe you got my point. What is called scale? I'm saying scale. Or some student take it here, for example, there's a 5 and 10, and here they take 1, 2. Wrong. Even not is this okay. We have to take a same scale along X and along Y axis. Let's start. So I think because 8 is required, so I write 2, 4, 6, 8. Same here. 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, now because the values are big, that is why. So let's start first of all function of f. So have a look, students. So 0, 2, x is 0, y is 2, x is 0, y 2 is here, x 0, y 2. So I'm starting here. And what this point, x is 2, y 8, x is 2 here and y is 8 here. So let's see now, x is 2 and y is 8. So this is meeting point. So I hope so all of you understanding. So I'm going to take a scale and join them. Okay, now I have done it. So this is f of x. Now f inverse. F inverse is what? X is 2, y 0. X is 2, y 0 here. I take a green color. Okay. Okay, this is done. And x is 2, x is 8, y 2. X is 8, y 2. So you know x is 8 and y 2 is here. I take a scale again. I join them. And I believe you understanding some extent, inshallah. And on my YouTube channel, their questions are available. This kind of questions available. You can watch from them, from there, sorry, so you can understand this better way. Okay. So this is okay, done. And now you can see this one. So this is called f inverse of x. And for your knowledge, I want to tell you one thing. Whenever we have a function and inverse function together, they are reflection of each other. Where? So mirror line is y equal to x. Look, I'm going to show you. Inshallah, I believe you will understand. I show you black color line, this line. Okay, this line I drew and I'm writing it now. What here? Y equals to x. And this is so how to write it. What a question he was asking. See, he said first single diagram, sketch f and f inverse, done. Make clear relationship between two graphs. So 3-mark question. Okay, now you write it what here? Always. So right here, f of x and f inverse of x are reflection of each other in mirror line y equal to x. You can ask me one question, sir, always y equal to x? Yes, answer is always y equal to x. Even we have a parabolic curve. For example, if we have a, I give an idea, not a straight line. Let's say I have this kind of curve. Have a look. Let's say I have a this kind of curve come. Example I give you, let's say this curve. Okay, then where is a reflection comes here? So first of all, I will draw this one scale, and this is your middle line. Okay, now where is image? I do show you the black curve. Where is image? Image will be like this. This is image. So this is called function, and this is called what? Inverse function, and this is called y equal to x. And look at it, their meeting point here, and this meeting point. In case the curve is there, in case the curve is there. So I believe the point is very, very clear. Sometimes we have a different kind of thing. For example, I'm going to show you a third option. So graph is coming for, let's say graph is coming this way. I have seen this kind of question even. So let's start. There's a middle line. Middle line is here, my students. Okay, now where is a curve? Where is a I mean to say, where is the image? It's inverse. So this is called g of x. Where is g inverse? So g inverse will be like that. Okay, and this is called g inverse. And I believe you got a point, and this is a reflection of each. Look, every point reflection of each other. I believe you got a point very clear. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. This point also clear. Let's talk about the next part. Next part, what he's saying here, he's saying that express f inverse, g inverse, and solve them. This is also O levels pattern. I'm finding both inverse, and let's start. So first of all, I'll find inverse of this. So I'm finding it here. Okay, third part here. So how to find f of f inverse of x? I will find both, inshallah. This is a, what is function? 3x plus 2. 3x plus 2. So let's start, student. 3x plus 2. Step number one, as you know, done in O levels even. First of all, function name replaced by y. And 2 comes left side. Okay, 3 divides. I got this form. A side changes. Interchange. Interchange means x become y and y become x. And this is called F inverse. So Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin, I believe you are not getting any big trouble. This one part is done. Now, same way, I will find out the inverse of second function. What second function, students? 6 over 2x plus 3. 6 over 2x plus 3. 6 over, okay, this is g of x. So let's find this one. Now I'm little shortcut. Y 6 over 2x plus 3. Algebra, cross multiply 2xy plus 3y equal to 6. How many x? 1x. Try to make subject. So 3y goes there, and this 2 and xy will divide there. 2y will divide. I got x alone. Interchange. X become y and y become x. So this is called G inverse. Okay, this 2x. What to do onwards after that? After that, we have to do what? We have to do simple and put them equal to each other, as he said. So look at here, students. Look at here. He said put them equal to each other and solve it. So not a hard job. 5-mark question is a little lengthy, but I think it's not a hard even. So I'm going to do it now. So he said put them equal to each other. So F inverse of x equal to G inverse of x. So let's start. Actually is algebra. Harder part we done in first 2 lectures. So cross multiply 2x to power 2 minus 4x and 18 minus 9x. So 2x to power 2 and minus plus 5x and minus 18 equal to 0. So 36, 9 4 is 36. Okay, so 2x, so I'm sorry, x is common only, I get 2x plus 9. From here 2 common, I got 2x plus 9. Okay, now I can say here 2x plus 9 outside and x minus 2 inside. So I got x is equal to negative 9 over 2 and I x2. So Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, I believe the point is very clear. So concept is very clear. I can show some more questions, okay, but I'm going to finish my class now, and I'm going to show you. Look, this example. Wait a minute, please. Yeah, this is a question number 1 we have done just now, okay, and I'm going to show you. For example, look at here. This question, it came in June 2004, okay, June 4. And look at here, he said sketch G graph and G inverse of graph and make relationship clear between them. So I think 100% clear, they are reflection of each other, middle line y equal to x. So I think you can try these questions easily, not even one time. Look at here, even I can show you many questions. Look at again, it came here. Make relationship between f inverse and f, and what is a, okay, like this graph is drawn. So where is a reflection of this? So first of all, what we'll do, you make it first of all y equal to x, and then you make it a image. So image is coming how? So very clear, this image will come. So I hope so the point is very clear. Sorry, the middle line, it should go not from here. Middle line should go from here. Anyway, so I think you got a point is very clear, and please pass through here. So I think point is very clear. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, and chapter is much extent is clear, and I just want give a clue. So what is the best way? There's a playlist of my channel available here, and there is A-level functions. I just show you, and which question you can try from there and you get the full command on this topic, okay? And A-level functions, I could show you, so you can watch these recordings from here. A-level functions, just wait a minute, please. I show you A-levels functions. A-level functions. A-levels quadratic and functions. Vectors, forces, equilibrium, functions A-level. It has 20 recordings. You can see that this is the 20 videos available here. So when you open it, in this way, I explain the stationary points concept, lecture number 2, domain range, Lecture number 3, one-to-one function. Lecture number 4, inverse function of quadratic, we discussed today even. Then we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, I think 15 questions available on the different concepts. So different questions. So I suggest you as a teacher, so you have to note down the year number. For example, this is October 2019, okay, and 2019, or this is for example June 2014, first variant question number 10. So these questions you should try first, and then you compare your answer with my answer, or watch first my recording and then practice. So I hope so. This way you can get command and inshallah on this topic. And this is enough for today. So inshallah, see you in the next lecture. So assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.